Welcome to Bloomers in the Garden. I'm Len Schroeder.
And I'm Julio Zamora.
Suzanne called the Bloomers in the Garden hotline and asked about growing plants in a pot that didn't need to be pollinated because she lives in an apartment. We'll tell you more during our first segment.
Joe called the Bloomers in the Garden hotline and has ground bees. Hear all about it and how to get rid of these pests in our second segment.
Jimmy called the Bloomers in the Garden hotline and was hoping raccoons would solve his grub problem. We can help eliminate all of his grubs without relying on wildlife. Listen to his call in our third segment.
We received a cheery call about what can be planted now to help the hummingbirds. Hear all about it in our fourth segment.
Our old friend Harold Kozak from Staten Island called to tell us about the upcoming solar eclipse April 8th. Hear all about it in our final segment.
So stay tuned and we'll be right back in the garden right after these messages. Bloomers in the Garden is brought to you each week by Bloomers Home and Garden Center. Bloomers is an award-winning garden center just 20 minutes from Philadelphia. Bloomers has been providing expert advice turning brown thumbs green for over 30 years. At Bloomers, we want you to ask us every question, even if you think it's silly. We share information in a friendly, non-judgmental way that is meant to teach and spread the joy of gardening. Visit Bloomers Home and Garden Center in Washington Township, Gloucester County. For directions, go to bloomers.com, and we'll see you in the garden. Fertilome's Triple Action contains 70% neem oil and 0.25% pyrethrins as a concentrate and ready to spray. It is an insecticide, fungicide, and miticide labeled to use on vegetables, fruits, nuts, herbs, spices, and ornamentals. This organic OMRI-listed product controls a wide variety of insect pests and diseases, including aphids, scale, spider mites, whiteflies, rust, leaf spot, and powdery mildew. This insecticide is an all-in-one bottle that will cure just about any problem you may run into throughout the year. Fertilome's Triple Action has been helping gardeners across the country for years. Best to apply in late evening and early morning hours. Mix 1 ounce, which is equivalent to 2 tablespoons in a gallon of water. The best part is Triple Action may be used up to the day of harvest. So the next time you are visiting your favorite garden center, ask for Fertilome's Triple Action and expect to have the best looking plants in the neighborhood.
You're listening to Bloomers in the Garden Radio. Listen anytime through your favorite podcast provider or see and hear us by subscribing to Bloomers YouTube channel. Bloomers in the Garden Radio is heard in Philadelphia and throughout the whole Delaware Valley every Saturday. First, wake up with us at 6 a.m. on WNWR The Word at 95.3 FM and 1540 AM. Tune in at 8 a.m. to Bloomers in the Garden Radio on Talk 860 WWDB. A rebroadcast of Bloomers in the Garden Radio is played each Saturday evening at 5 p.m. on The Word, 95.3 FM and 1540 AM. On Sunday at 8 a.m., we can be heard throughout the New York Tri-State Area on Classic Oldies, 1250 AM WMTR. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you in the garden. Welcome back to Bloomers in the Garden. Lots of calls this week. Huh?
Yeah, it was great.
We love it.
Yes, we
love
do.
that. So, how high will they fly?
Yeah.
I love the fact that Suzanne knows about the birds and the bees, and we can help.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, that doesn't sound right. I'll tell you what, just listen to her call.
Hi, this is Suzanne. I live in an apartment, and I have a big pot outside my window. I get the morning sun. I usually plant parsley in the pot. I would like to know, is there anything else I could plant in there? It has to be something that doesn't need to be pollinated, because one year I planted tomatoes. Apparently we don't have any bees, and so I didn't get any tomatoes because they weren't pollinated. So if you could tell me if there's something else that I could plant there that would grow nice. It's 10.5 inches tall, and it's 12 inches in diameter. I would appreciate it.
Right.
Ooh.
Right.
Smart, though. I mean, so many people don't realize, the whole thing about pollination. If you don't get pollination, you don't get tomatoes, you don't get peppers, you don't get eggplants, you don't get apples, cherries, peaches, blah, 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 blah. So there's a lot of things that won't work. And I guess she must be pretty high up. Mm-hmm. She could take a little painter's paintbrush and dab the flower and go to each flower.
Yeah.
But I'm not doing that. But it could. That's how they do it in the labs. It's all about procreation.
That's it. They got to reproduce.
Plants form seeds that spread the species. And so inside your vegetable are seeds. So inside your tomato, you have tomatoes with seeds, right?
Yeah.
We were talking about diverticulitis today.
Yeah, I know.
And so some people can't eat those seeds.
Yeah.
But when those plants are made to drop the fruit stays and rots on the ground. It forms a nice little spot for the seeds to germinate in, but nothing happens unless that they are fertilized. And that's the whole thing about the different insects that come and pollinators. So we have some really good ideas. Vegetables. If you want to plant vegetables, Suzanne, lettuce, beets, radishes, kohlrabi, spinach, kale, cabbage, onions, broccoli, cauliflower, all do not want to be pollinated. Lettuce especially, you call it when lettuce bolts, they send a flower stalk up, and you don't want that. The lettuce begins to get bitter if that happens. So lettuce is perfect. Herbs. I talk all the time on the show about how I use my fresh herbs, and they're in window boxes, and that you don't want those to flower either. So herbs like basil, thyme, sage, rosemary, oregano, parsley, chive, cilantro, all are perfect, and you can cook with them and use them on a regular basis. Did I leave one out? I did. No, chives. There it is.
No,
chives.
Yeah.
I use chives all the time.
Oh, yeah?
Fresh eggs. And a little, you trim a little bit of chives off like you're getting a haircut, and you just throw that into your eggs. Nothing better. Nothing better. Any vegetable that does not flower, you can put in. And most of them are going to be leafy vegetables that can be harvested. Like, for instance, leaf lettuce, you can harvest all the time. You just, as the leaves come up the stalk, you just are peeling them off and using it. So it's not something where you have to harvest a head of lettuce. Like, you don't want to grow necessarily iceberg lettuce, but you want to do romaine can be a type of leaf lettuce.
Green leaf, which I like.
Yeah, absolutely. And then there's a red romaine as well.
Yeah. Nice.
If you want flowers, go for it.
Yeah.
I mean, flowers will come out and that they start to lose their petals when they're fertilized. So when the flowers are pollinated, they begin to drop off. So being up high and you don't have the pollinators up there, your flowers will technically last longer. So you could really put flowers on. Like we're almost at the Easter season, or we are. It's Palm Sunday coming up, and that where Easter flowers, we have Easter lilies. And that a little known secret here in the garden center world is when your Easter flowers open a little too early and it has the pollen sacs that are around on the flower, you pull those out so that the flower doesn't get pollinated. And you got to be very careful that you don't pollinate it with your fingers, and you pull those off. The interesting part of that too is that somebody's doing it because they end up ultimately wiping their face and they have the pollen they all of a sudden now they do. It's like a brown pollen and it turns yellow on their face and it's like, are you okay? So
turning pale.
But again, it's the same concept where you don't want those flowers to get pollinated, or else they'll go and they'll drop the flowers. So being up high, flowers would be perfect. Yeah. So, and again, it's just making sure you said you had a pretty good amount of sun, and you could grow a pot of flowers and a pot of vegetables, and you can also replant. Don't think that you can, once your vegetables are done, you can just sit back and look at an empty pot of dirt. You can certainly replant. Like lettuce, for instance, when it gets real hot, it's not going to do as well, and you'll enjoy the lettuce all the way up through into the early parts of the summer, but then it's going to get a little funky, and that you'll pull them out and just repot it with, say, you can do the herbs at that time, or you can do some of the other things like radishes and kale and some of the things like onions, for instance, that will do well. Certainly all of the herbs will love the summertime heat, and that they'll flourish. And you can use them in your cooking. Julio, I don't think it's a problem.
No, it's
not
not a
being
problem.
able to have the pollination on some things, like you're not going to be able to grow peppers unless you use that little brush and you go ahead and you pollinate them
right.
yourself. So you could be busy as a bee, literally, and that you could do tomatoes, but you got to, again, you're going to have to dab that center of the flower and get to the other one, and you can pollinate them yourself. But on its own, left to its own devices, again, you're not going to get that to happen. I was thinking about maybe like hummingbirds are that high, but I don't know. It's something that I wouldn't rely on Mother Nature to necessarily do it, being that you've had the experience with the tomatoes. But again, if you're gonna do things like eggplant and you want to do something like maybe some of the bush type of cucumbers or something like that, you're gonna have to pollinate them yourselves, which you can do. But I don't know. It's not that hard.
Yeah,
It just means doing it.
Yeah,
Just means doing it.
it's only a pot.
But then again, I don't want to be bothered. Guess what? We're eating salad.
That's right.
So,
Yeah, as long as you like lettuce and
well, again, but also you're a kohlrabi fan.
oh yeah,
Right?
Like it.
You certainly could grow. I mean, spinach.
Yeah, spinach.
Spinach can be used in broccoli and cauliflower.
Yeah.
Broccoli and cauliflower in the garden can be tough for a lot of people because the heads burn and that they're in a bad spot, where this is something that you could keep an eye on. So, I don't know. But again, it's a head thing where it's taking up a lot of room for one harvest.
Yeah, that's it.
Look, I got a bunch of broccoli. Come on over. We're having a feast.
One.
So that's where the leaf lettuce would be probably the best idea.
Yeah,
All right.
beautiful.
Anything to add, Julio?
No, she told me she's going to do the lettuce and the spinach. That's
Good.
She likes them.
That's good. And again, when it gets hot,
Yeah.
change it
Change
over.
it over, yeah.
Change it over.
Yeah.
All right. We'll be back in the garden right after this. Hi, this is Len Schroeder from Bloomers in the Garden. Do you have a landscape, garden, or plant question? If so, call or text us using the Bloomers in the Garden hotline. Dial 609-685-1880. That's 609-685-1880. Don't be shy. We want to hear from you. Call or text us and let us know what problems you're facing. Let us know how we're doing. Call or text 609-685-1880. If we use your comment on the air, we'll send you a free Bloomers t-shirt. Call or text us at 609-685-1880. That's 609-685-1880. And we'll see you in the garden. Wanting to up your game in the vegetable garden? With 90 years of organic gardening experience, the Espoma Company has you covered. Espoma Organic Garden Tone is not your average garden variety fertilizer. Garden Tone is especially blended for organic vegetable gardens. Its all-natural formula contains Biotone, a blend of organic ingredients that supplies essential nutrients for strong, healthy plants and mouth-watering vegetables. Its slow-release formula provides continuous feeding. The Biotone contained in Garden Tone is a combination of organic ingredients and beneficial microbes to help roots grow deeper and faster for bigger, more bountiful harvests. Garden Tone is simple to use and safe for people, pets, and the planet. No harmful chemicals or synthetic fertilizers are ever added. You can find Garden Tone at fine garden centers. Visit espoma.com to find a retailer near you. Garden Tone from Espoma. A natural in the garden since 1929. At Jonathan Green, green is much more than a color of a healthy lawn. Green is a lifestyle. The Jonathan Green Company is a multi-generational family-owned grass seed and fertilizer business. The team at Jonathan Green is passionate about helping homeowners grow the greenest, most luxurious lawns and healthiest soil in the neighborhood. Come to Bloomers and meet Jonathan Green's regional lawn expert, Andrew Decker, at Bloomers Home and Garden Center Saturday, April 13th between 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. Julio and I will be there to welcome our radio family to Bloomers and introduce you to Andrew. Learn about their line of premium lawn care products designed to enhance the beauty of your yard while promoting sustainability and environmental responsibility. When using Jonathan Green products, your lawn will never look better. Bring all of your questions to Bloomers and meet Jonathan Green's regional lawn expert, Andrew Decker, Saturday, April 13th between 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. This is your chance to get up close and personal with a lawn expert from Jonathan Green. Riveting expert-led discussion covering everything from lawn maintenance to pest control. Armed with this information, you'll be sure to transform your lawn into a lush, thriving bed of paradise. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, come in and join us at Bloomers Home and Garden Center Saturday, April 13th between 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. and meet Andrew Decker, regional lawn expert from Jonathan Green. Together, let's cultivate greener, healthier lawns and landscapes for generations to come. Bloomers Home and Garden Center is located at the corner of 344 Herfville Cross Keys Road and Fish Pond Road in Washington Township, Gloucester County, New Jersey. For more information, check us out on the web at www.bloomers.com. And we'll see you in the garden with Jonathan Green's regional lawn expert, Andrew Decker, Saturday, April 13th between 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. Please RSVP by calling the Bloomers in the Garden hotline, 609-685-1880. The spaces are limited, so please call the Bloomers in the Garden hotline to reserve your space at 609-685-1880.
Welcome back to Bloomers in the Garden. This segment keeps us in the bee theme right now, but to the other extreme. Joe called the Bloomers in the Garden hotline and has unwanted bees. Listen to his call.
Yeah, I want to know about getting chemicals sprayed to kill bees in the ground, if that harms the ground, if the person wants to plant later on down the road, you know, for a garden or whatever. We got bees, ground bees. My name's Joe. Thank you.
Joe,
my man.
Where's Joe from, Julio?
Wayne.
Joe is from Wayne?
Yep.
Joe, I'm from Wayne. I know Wayne. From Packanack Lake. Born and raised. Spent all my time in Clifton at the business, though. But we slept in the house in Wayne. But anyway, Joe, I heard you didn't wait. You went and you paid a exterminator. Yeah. They need work too. Yeah. The product I have in my hands right now. If you are watching us on YouTube, and please subscribe, and please, if you're listening to on podcast, please give us a review. 5 stars is what we're looking for. We are trying to get our Aaron, what are we looking for? We're looking for people to subscribe, right?
Absolutely. Above all, like, share, subscribe. Absolutely.
Like, share, subscribe?
On every platform.
On every platform.
On every platform.
So whether it's YouTube or whether it's...
Yes, if you're on your podcast provider, please feel free to give us a 5-star rating.
Thank you.
If you are enjoying the content.
All right. Joe, Wayne Heights.
North Jersey.
That's right.
Yeah.
Felt right at home when you called. Anyway, right here in my hand is Wasp, Hornet, and Wasp spray. Hornet, it's from Stinger, and which is actually, it's the parent company is Bonide. So it's a Bonide Stinger family in that it is a foaming wasp, Hornet, and Wasp spray. Yes, it will control bees. I don't want to hear about from pollinators. Look, we're talking about there are issues with bees. Joe probably has yellow jackets. Yellow jackets are nasty. Oh
Yeah.
You ever been bit by a yellow jacket?
Oh, yes, I have.
I have too.
Yeah.
You'd step on, even when they're dead, you step on them, and it's like, whoa,
what happened?
You're in bare feet.
Yeah, no.
But they're bad. So this product, though, it comes out like Barbasol. So it's like foam. It's foam, and that it entraps the wasps, bees, hornets, yellow jackets inside those holes, and they can't come and chase you around the yard. Now, I moved I have a wall, and I moved a section of wall. Guess what I found? I found ground bees. I got to about 200 yards out of breath, and they stopped chasing me. But I went back and I said, "I'll get you," and use this, and it is a great product because it seals the nest, and they're not going to be able to get out. And it's also the active ingredient is a thrin. which we talk about thrins all the time. Julio, can you elaborate what's important to know about a thrin?
Yeah, it's an insecticide. It comes from a natural product, and
the chemistry comes from a natural product, even though it is not organic. Right. We don't want to mislabel that. Mm-hmm. So it's taking the chemistry from an organic or natural source, but improving on it. Mm-hmm. So it makes it so it's basically it's the original organic version degrades with sunlight. It doesn't last very long, and that's some of the improvements that they have made. And that's what's so great about this. The other thing is it has a knockdown agent. So, like I was saying, they were chasing me around the yard. Chasing me around the yard. It it's like slipping them a Mickey. They knocked out. They fall on the ground. It's like,
I got you, pal.
And then when you go back in your bare feet and you step on it later, then
you feel it.
Yeah, they're up in the heavenly realm saying, got you back.
Got you back.
Yeah.
I'm not done yet with you.
That's right. But easy to use. The trick with this is not to use it like in the middle of the day. You want to use it after, like right at dusk, sunset, right when it's starting to get dark, to where you can't like really see real well, because all of the ground bees, no matter what type you have, will go back to the nest each night. Or you want to do it at sunrise because they're still in there. They haven't started their day yet. And you want to make sure you get all of them, not just some of them, because what'll happen, they'll build another nest somewhere else. Mm. So make sure you do it so when it is just about dark or just about light, and that's when you want to spray it. And it's an expanding foam. Like I said, it literally is like Barbazole, where it comes out. You can use it inside the house. If you have them in the eaves of your house and you have different types of wasps, mud daubers, for instance, the ones that build those crusty nests, it'll encapsulate that and control them. Again, we're talking about hornets as well. Hornets are nasty. The black hornets, they're just scary to look at. Yeah. But again, it can be used outdoors or indoors. We have a lot of cyclone fencing at Bloomers, and
they get
inside the hollow ends of the pipe. They it's like, whew.
Yeah, try to open that.
Yeah, it's like we don't go near that end.
No, we don't.
So, or we just use the Revenge wasp and hornet foam.
Yeah,
I wouldn't use anything else.
Yeah.
And there are other ones are available, but because this expands, again, we're talking about like shaving cream, and that it eventually will go back, but it stops them and it controls them. It's a great innovation.
Great it is.
Yes, it is. All right. We're going to be right back in the garden right after this. Hi, this is Len Schroeder from Bloomers in the Garden. Do you have a landscape, garden, or plant question? If so, call or text us using the Bloomers in the Garden hotline. Dial 609-685-1880. That's 609-685-1880. Don't be shy. We want to hear from you. Call or text us and let us know what problems you're facing. Let us know how we're doing. Call or text 609-685-1880. If we use your comment on the air, we'll send you a free Bloomers t-shirt. Call or text us at 609-685-1880. That's 609-685-1880. And we'll see you in the garden. At Jonathan Green, green is much more than a color of a healthy lawn. Green is a lifestyle. The Jonathan Green Company is a multi-generational family-owned grass seed and fertilizer business. The team at Jonathan Green is passionate about helping homeowners grow the greenest, most luxurious lawns and healthiest soil in the neighborhood. Come to Bloomers and meet Jonathan Green's regional lawn expert, Andrew Decker, at Bloomers Home and Garden Center Saturday, April 13th between 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. Julio and I will be there to welcome our radio family to Bloomers and introduce you to Andrew. Learn about their line of premium lawn care products designed to enhance the beauty of your yard while promoting sustainability and environmental responsibility. When using Jonathan Green products, your lawn will never look better. Bring all of your questions to Bloomers and meet Jonathan Green's regional lawn expert, Andrew Decker, Saturday, April 13th between 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. This is your chance to get up close and personal with a lawn expert from Jonathan Green. Riveting, expert-led discussion covering everything from lawn maintenance to pest control. Armed with this information, you'll be sure to transform your lawn into a lush, thriving bed of paradise. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, come in and join us at Bloomer's Home and Garden Center Saturday, April 13th between 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. and meet Andrew Decker, regional lawn expert from Jonathan Green. Together, let's cultivate greener, healthier lawns and landscapes for generations to come. Bloomer's Home and Garden Center is located at the corner of 344 Herfville Cross Keys Road and Fish Pond Road in Washington Township, Gloucester County, New Jersey. For more information, check us out on the web at www.bloomers.com. And we'll see you in the garden with Jonathan Green's regional lawn expert, Andrew Decker, Saturday, April 13th between 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. Please RSVP by calling the Bloomers in the Garden hotline, 609-685-1880. The spaces are limited, so please call the Bloomers in the Garden hotline to reserve your space at 609-685-1880. Your next houseplant is waiting for you in Bloomers Home and Garden Center's greenhouse. Bloomers recognizes that houseplant choices are as important to your interior decorating as the fabric on your couch. The right plant, paired with the perfect container, can bring a dynamic change to your home. A houseplant brings life to your world and connects your home's interior to the greater outdoors. Even a small succulent placed on your coffee table has a way of connecting your living room to the Amazon rainforest. How about an air plant in your kitchen? Looking for an indoor flowering plant to add color to your plant palette? Bloomers has a large revolving assortment of flowering beauties. From aglaonemas to ZZ plants, Bloomers Greenhouse is stocked with your next favorite indoor plant. Bloomers carries a large selection of pottery and containers to match your home's decor and make any of your plants more beautiful. Bloomers experts can help you care for your plants and have the fertilizer, insecticides, leaf shine, and specialty soils you need to grow healthy and happy indoor plants. Visit Bloomers Home and Garden Center's greenhouse and make every room in your home a living room. Visit bloomers.com for more information. That's bloomers.com, and we'll see you in the garden. All right, Julio.
Go ahead.
Joe, I apologize. Julio has given me bad information. He is not from Wayne.
No.
Jimmy is from Wayne.
Jim is from Wayne, yes.
But Joe is not from Wayne.
Not from Wayne.
He does sound like he's from Wayne.
Yeah, he does.
But he's from Pennsylvania, you said.
That's correct.
And you said he and his wife watch or listen.
Yeah, Jimmy and his wife Mary, they listen.
Joe and his wife Mary. Jimmy is from Wayne.
Okay, yeah.
Jimmy?
Yeah, Jimmy's from Wayne.
Like I said, I'm born and raised in Wayne. Now that I'm talking to another Julio, what am I going to do with you? I got bad information. We could blame it on the producer, but he has nothing to do with it. Yeah. Usually that's what happens. Producer has the wrong person up. Anyway, we apologize, Joe, that I don't know. Julio.
We'll get you right now. We got him right.
The advice is what matters.
Right.
So that's what matters.
And we corrected it, too.
We got that. Jimmy called. Jimmy called. He is from Wayne. Wayne is North Jersey. Or North Jersey. And he has grub issues, he thinks. And he has a neighbor giving him some advice. Listen to his call.
Hi, I had a problem with grubs, and my neighbor told me that the raccoons take care of them. Now I see little holes in my garden. I'm hoping that this year they'll be gone. I tried everything, milky spores, everything, and I think the raccoons are going to take care of it. My name is Jimmy.
Jimmy! Sort of, maybe. Look, all the time, skunks do the most evacuating of grubs. The soil is so cold right now that the grubs are still down pretty far. So raccoons or skunks aren't doing anything. So your neighbor's kind of right. I mean, I guess a raccoon could, but skunks absolutely. When, like, if you have a lawn and it's closer to May, and where the soil temperature warmed up to where the grubs are starting to get active, because right now they're underneath the soil, probably about a foot, 6 inches, and as the soil warms up, they come up to the surface and they're eating the roots. And Japanese beetles or Japanese beetle grubs turn into Japanese beetles in July, and that it's something where they take care of some, but what we have recommendation for you, if you're going to be planting a garden or you have grubs in your garden, that you want to use Bonides 8. That it is the best thing that you can use. And one thing about New Jersey, that New Jersey has eliminated imidacloprid, which is the active ingredient for a lot of grub controls. Within 8, it's bifenthrin, another thrin, and that it's perfect for vegetable gardens, and it also will control a lot of different insects as well, like cutworms and things like that. It's also safe for putting around the foundation of your house to protect, like, I don't know, I had ants already this year. Do you have any ants yet, Julio?
Not yet.
No?
Nope.
No? Ants, Aaron? Mm-mm. Crickets?
Mm-mm.
No?
Nope.
So it will control all of those, but you put a barrier, and that as it warms up, that those critters are going to be looking for some place to find some food, and that may be your kitchen table or your counters or somewhere else. So 8 is very safe, and it's not meant for indoor use. It's meant for outside. And the granular we have in studio, if you're watching on YouTube, this is the liquid. For grubs and any subsurface insects, I would use the granular version of 8. The running joke, you know what the joke is about 8? No. That there used to be 7, right? Do you remember 7?
Oh, yeah, 7.
8's one better than 7.
Oh, that's even better.
So, hey. Hey.
Oh.
Tip your waitresses.
All right.
And your producers.
Yeah, because 7, 8, 9, right?
Yeah, well, we don't have 9 yet.
Right.
Yeah, it's coming next.
Anyway, but 8 is the one to use in your garden. Don't use imidacloprid. Don't use the stuff that's made for the lawn. That's where you're talking about having issues with poisoning your soil. And that's an aggressive word, but use 8. It works. It doesn't, like, you can use 8 up until I think the day of harvest with some vegetables. So it's not like it works very well, but it's not something that it is highly toxic. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Now, Julio, we have Jimmy's.
Jimmy.
Jimmy is my fellow person in Wayne.
Wayne, yes.
Yes.
He's your buddy.
Okay.
Yep.
No, you have that part straight.
Yes.
Is there anything you would like to add?
No, I don't think so.
No. Is there anything you'd like to say to Joe and Mary? Who live in Pennsylvania?
Pennsylvania, yeah.
All right, we've got that straightened out.
That's right.
We're moving on. But again, those little holes that you see that are in your ground right now, those are earthworms. They are earthworms. We're supposed to get a ton of rain this weekend. For some of your listeners that hear us on Sunday, we just did it. Saturday, it's raining like crazy. That you're going to see earthworm holes coming out because they'll come out this time of the year. They're looking for things, and hopefully we get some warmer weather. But those little holes that you see all over the place are not grubs. That's earthworms. They're a good thing. So they're eating your soil. They're actually breaking down thatch in your lawn. They're kind of making their own compost.
Compost. Yeah.
Earthworms are a good thing. But again, the grubs that usually you'll only see later on, or if you're digging up your soil now, you might see them. You want to use granular 8 from Bonide. All right. Anything to add, Julio? You sure?
No, I'm good.
You sure?
Yeah, positive.
You're going to tell me that I'm from, Hawaii? No. I'm not from Hawaii.
No, he's not.
We'll be back in the garden right after this. Hi, this is Len Schroeder from Bloomers in the Garden. Do you have a landscape, garden, or plant question? If so, call or text us using the Bloomers in the Garden hotline. Dial 609-685-1880. That's 609-685-1880. Don't be shy. We want to hear from you. Call or text us and let us know what problems you're facing. Let us know how we're doing. Call or text 609-685-1880. If we use your comment on the air, we'll send you a free Bloomers t-shirt. Call or text us at 609-685-1880. That's 609-685-1880. And we'll see you in the garden. Fertilome Succulent Potting Mix with EcoPeat is the perfect ready-to-use potting mix for all your succulents. Fertilome Succulent Potting Mix is a blend of sphagnum peat moss, perlite, and EcoPeat. EcoPeat is a natural wood fiber from peat bogs. When added to Fertilome peat moss, it produces a superior professional substrate with an exceptional ratio of air porosity and water holding capacity. Fertilome Succulent Potting Mix will ensure maximum drainage with ideal water retention. It's simply the best succulent mix on the market. Ask for Fertilome by name at your local garden center. Available at Daniel's Garden Center, Sumneytown Pike, Harleysville, Pennsylvania. Gasper's Home and Garden, 316 Tanyard Road, Richboro, PA.
If you're like me, then you absolutely love birds. The Bird Sanctuary at Bloomer's Home and Garden Center has you covered. They're dedicated to the care and feeding of wild birds of all sorts. Want to bring more birds to your yard? Then you got to see this place. Bloomers has a huge flock of feeders, birdhouses, birdseed, and much, much more. Want to feed the birds and not the squirrels? They have this absolutely cool bronze bird feeder that will drive those sneaky squirrels nuts. They'll be moving to the next door neighbor in no time. OMG. Bloomers have these absolutely adorable birdhouses that will turn your yard into the perfect bird B&B. They carry all types of wild bird seed, suet, seed cakes, and mealworms. Bloomer stocks Lyric, Coles, CNS, Pine Tree Farms, and much, much more that will keep those beautiful birds coming back for more. Bloomer's Home and Garden Center is located in Washington Township in Gloucester County. For more information and directions, check them out on the web at bloomers.com. Bloomer's Home and Garden Center, you got to see this place.
Welcome back to Bloomers in the Garden. Folks, get ready out there. There's going to be some sightings. These little guys, these little flying little birds. Ruby-throated.
What are those little birds?
Ruby-throated hummingbirds are coming.
They're coming.
Yes. Get ready, folks. Yes.
Because we received a call on the hotline, right?
Yes, we did.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And she wanted to know, basically, about when are they coming and what can we do now? Listen to her call.
Hi, happy St. Patrick's Day. I'm interested in knowing what kind of flowers could I start planting now for hummingbirds. Okay, that's my question. What do I do about the hummingbirds? Bye.
Easy. Put your feeder out.
Yes.
Put your feeder out. I checked to see when the first sighting of a hummingbird was last year, and it was April 11th. April 11th in West Stepford was the first sighting in our area. Now, there were more on the Pennsylvania side, but again, we don't have much going on then. But you can plant some things. Here's a quick thing. Red columbine, okay, perennial, comes back every year. You have a redbud tree. They're starving. That they're coming from across the Gulf of Mexico, flying nonstop, 24 hours, and not as a flock. They used to say that, they fly on the backs of geese. Yeah. They fly on the backs of geese, and that's how they get there. No, they do it all on their own. I don't know. Anyway, crab apples that they're starting to bloom, PJMs, azaleas, quince. Quince is another one that if you, and again, these are more shrubs than they are annuals because, again, we have to worry about the frost-free date. Frost-free date is May 15th. So if you go to put like impatiens out, you're not going to have good luck because they're going to freeze. And so you got to be careful of what you're putting out there. All of these other ones can take it. Even bleeding hearts, for instance, they'll be blooming soon. They'll go to bleeding hearts. But the thing is if you put your feeder out now, they will come and they'll look. That there are sailors that say when they're in the Gulf of Mexico that and oil platforms that they'll take a rest on the platforms and on the boats, and that there's even things where they'll go to the fire extinguishers that are red and that they'll hang out. They'll say, what's this down here? Maybe I'll get lucky and it's a flower and I can eat something. But basically that 24-hour trip is nonstop flight. And we're talking about these little birds that are flapping their wings 50 to 70 times per second. Wow. So 24 hours, like, you know, I'm not here to do the math, but so if you've got 50 times, so if we go, let's see, 24 hours, right, that's times 60, because there's 60 minutes, and then we have to go and figure out how many minutes there are, and then seconds times 50.
Oof. It's funny.
I just got into New Jersey, and boy, are my arms tired. Anyway, that, again, they end up expending so much energy and that they're looking for something to eat. Being that the flowers aren't as plentiful as they would be in just a few weeks, put out your feeders now. Keep an eye on if we're, because we still are going to be subject to cold weather, that we were in the 20s last night, that if you go and look, make sure that those feeders don't freeze, but put them out there because those birds are hungry and they're going to be looking for places to eat. And we often joke about how people's homes are a diner, right?
Yeah,
it's like, I'm going to that Julio Zamora's house. They always put out the best stuff. You know, I'm not going to that Schroeder's house. He lets his stuff ferment. You got to change your hummingbird. You got to change the food. You got to keep clean your hummingbird feeder. And if you didn't clean your hummingbird feeder when you put it away, please clean it before you put it out. And again, you're going to want to put nectar in there, and you can make your own. I am a fan of using the red nectar just simply because it's easy for me to see how much they're eating. Like I can see how much it's going down, as opposed to where it's clear. You know, it's like,
especially if you have bad eyes like me.
Requires more work.
Yeah.
I said it on the lazy side. But again, flowers, this time, there's not a whole lot because, again, but blooming soon are going to be azaleas everywhere. It's PJM rhododendrons are already in bloom. Forsythias are in bloom. As far as perennials go, the columbine is going to be an early blooming plant. And the trees where it's redbud and crab apples and fruit trees.
Peach,
fruit trees. So you can use that. I find them amazing.
Oh, they are cool.
Because they're going to breed and raise they go and they'll mate here in our area, and that they'll go all the way up to Canada. Now, they're solitary birds for the most part. I guess, except during mating season.
Yeah,
but
got to do something.
But when they fly across the Gulf of Mexico, they don't go in a flock. They're pretty much individual. And it amazes me, and this is like, all right, is it, you know, intelligent design? Is it, you know, or is it evolution? You know, how do the darn hummingbirds know to go across the Gulf of Mexico back to where their parents started? Come on, Julio, tell me.
Creative design.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
I don't know. There's a lot of things in nature that are just make you shake your head. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's a 2,000-mile journey.
Oh, yeah.
It's not like it's right around the clock. That we're gonna hop in a Frontier airline for. You know, and hop on Strap in.
Yeah,
Oh,
I got to do that.
A little respect to these guys. So again, get your hummingbird feeders out. It's time. Be careful. Make sure that you don't want them to freeze and crack. You do want to make sure they're cleaned. You want to take and change you're lucky at this time of the year. You don't necessarily have to change your nectar as often because it is cooler. So it kind of is like in the fridge, so to speak. But you do want to change it probably every, at least every 4 or 5 days. But again, it's amazing. It's an amazing thing. So when you see a hummingbird, it's a special thing.
Just to come up and be in your house is special,
Right.
And they come back, they come back every year.
And that
if you keep it going.
That's right. And if you offer them food first, guess what? They're going to come back to you regularly. Yeah. We often see these YouTube videos where there's like 10 hummingbirds around. Oh, yeah. But those are people that are making sure that their feeders are clean and they put it out early so that they keep going and that they keep coming back. And it's almost like they're mailmen where they go on a route. So when the flowers start to bloom, that they'll go on certain flowers and they'll go on to all your annuals like petunias and like your different types of species of flowering things but they'll come back to your feeders as well.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. Ooh. I mean, little 4-inch wingspan.
That's it.
That's a 4-inch wingspan.
No, not much.
Anyway,
and those headwinds, I can imagine.
they need to, like, they're so exhausted when they come across that they need to, like, when they're getting prepared to go back, they double their weight. Wow. So Julio, that would be like you ending up being, 150 pounds.
Yes.
With you doubling
my weight, yeah.
Julio's a little bit.
Yeah, we only weigh 50.
Is that it? Anyway, some of them cheat, though. Did you know that? You'd like this. That some of them, they go over to Cuba, and then they go from Cuba. They don't do the whole 500 miles. No, they don't do it all one. I'm rooting for those birds that go 24 hours nonstop. Then they hop into Florida for a while, and then they go up the coast. But honestly, most of them go straight across. The Gulf of Mexico. Amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. All right. We're going to be back in the garden with a favorite of ours.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Harold Kozak. Harold's going to be talking about something that's going to be up in the sky. We'll be right back right after this. At Jonathan Green, green is much more than a color of a healthy lawn. Green is a lifestyle. The Jonathan Green Company is a multi-generational family-owned grass seed and fertilizer business. The team at Jonathan Green is passionate about helping homeowners grow the greenest, most luxurious lawns and healthiest soil in the neighborhood. Come to Bloomers and meet Jonathan Green's regional lawn expert, Andrew Decker, at Bloomers Home and Garden Center Saturday, April 13th between 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. Julio and I will be there to welcome our radio family to Bloomers and introduce you to Andrew. Learn about their line of premium lawn care products designed to enhance the beauty of your yard while promoting sustainability and environmental responsibility. When using Jonathan Green products, your lawn will never look better. Bring all of your questions to Bloomers and meet Jonathan Green's regional lawn expert, Andrew Decker, Saturday, April 13th between 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. This is your chance to get up close and personal with a lawn expert from Jonathan Green. Riveting, expert-led discussion covering everything from lawn maintenance to pest control. Armed with this information, you'll be sure to transform your lawn into a lush, thriving bed of paradise. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, come in and join us at Bloomers Home and Garden Center Saturday, April 13th between 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. and meet Andrew Decker, regional lawn expert from Jonathan Green. Together, let's cultivate greener, healthier lawns and landscapes for generations to come. Bloomers Home and Garden Center is located at the corner of 344 Herfville Cross Keys Road and Fish Pond Road in Washington Township, Gloucester County, New Jersey. For more information, check us out on the web at www.bloomers.com. And we'll see you in the garden with Jonathan Green's regional lawn expert, Andrew Decker, Saturday, April 13th between 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. Please RSVP by calling the Bloomers in the Garden hotline, 609-685-1880. The spaces are limited, so please call the Bloomers in the Garden hotline to reserve your space at 609-685-1880.
Dreaming of a gorgeous garden? Give your azaleas, rhododendron, blueberries, and evergreens a powerful boost with their #1 acid-loving plant food, Espoma Organic Hollytone. Hollytone is a perfect blend of natural, long-lasting ingredients that nourish plants for stronger roots, faster growth, and bountiful blooms. Plus, it's easy to use and safe for people, pets, and planet. Visit espoma.com for a retailer near you and helpful gardening tips. Espoma, a natural in the garden since 1929.
Your next houseplant is waiting for you in Bloomers Home and Garden Center's greenhouse. Bloomers recognizes that houseplant choices are as important to your interior decorating as the fabric on your couch. The right plant, paired with the perfect container, can bring a dynamic change to your home. A houseplant brings life to your world and connects your home's interior to the greater outdoors. Even a small succulent placed on your coffee table has a way of connecting your living room to the Amazon rainforest. How about an air plant in your kitchen? Looking for an indoor flowering plant to add color to your plant palette? Bloomers has a large revolving assortment of flowering beauties. From aglaonemas to ZZ plants, Bloomers Greenhouse is stocked with your next favorite indoor plant. Bloomers carries a large selection of pottery and containers to match your home's decor and make any of your plants more beautiful. Bloomers experts can help you care for your plants and have the fertilizer, insecticides, leaf shine, and specialty soils you need to grow healthy and happy indoor plants. Visit Bloomers Home and Garden Center's greenhouse and make every room in your home a living room. Visit bloomers.com for more information. That's bloomers.com, and we'll see you in the garden. Welcome back to Bloomers in the Garden. One of our longtime listeners, Harold Kozak. Harold, hope you're doing well. He's from Staten Island. He gave us a call about the April 8th full eclipse. Harold is a NASA Solar System Ambassador and adjunct professor of astronomy at Wagner College. And did I mention his son, Andrew, is the Philadelphia CBS 3 meteorologist, Andrew Kozak.
Yeah, right.
Here and listen to Harold's call.
Hi, Len. Hi, Julio. Harold Kozak, Staten Island. By the way, I went to the flower show in Philly, and I really loved the exhibits that they had on carnivorous plants. They're fantastic. The reason I'm calling is there's a very big upcoming event, which I'm sure you are aware of, but I want all your listeners in the Tri-State Area to know that on Monday, April the 8th, of course, is going to be a total solar eclipse, which we don't get that often. On Saturday, April the 6th, at the Clay Pit Nature Center, which is at 2351 Veterans Road West in Staten Island, New York, I'm going to be giving a NASA talk on the solar eclipse, and it'll be a PowerPoint presentation, and I'm going to be giving out a lot of free souvenirs from NASA, including eclipse glasses that you can use to view the solar eclipse safely. Admission is free, and it's going to be Saturday, April 6th at 2 p.m., and it's at 2351 Veterans Road West, which is on Staten Island. It's about 5 minutes from the Outer Bridge Crossing in Perth Amboy. If people want directions, they can call the center at 718-967-1976. Hope to see some people there. I hope you guys get a chance in New Jersey to see the eclipse. And my final message to you guys is see you in the garden. Bye.
Yes!
Way to go, Harold.
Harold gets on because he uses that. We're free publicity here. Bloomers in the Garden.
Thank you,
That's a $500 spot, Harold.
Yes, it is.
But Harold always gives us good information, and that he loves carnivorous plants,
loves them,
and
yeah.
that's why he first started calling and had questions about carnivorous plants and such. But have you ever seen it? I mean, I can remember as a kid, and I worked on a farm, that the eclipse was going to happen while we were in the field.
Oh, gosh.
So it was a big deal. It was like, don't look at that. Don't look at this. Don't look at it. Don't look at it.
Did you look at it?
Probably. But they had these like funky Eclipse glasses that they looked like 3D movie glasses, right? Now, have you ever seen Eclipse? Can you remember?
I haven't seen Eclipse. Have you?
Yeah. I told you just now.
I would imagine they were like the cardboard ones, though.
Yeah,
like,
oh, no, they were. Oh, yeah, they were. I mean, the Eclipse doesn't last long. I mean,
the Wheaties cereal box versions.
Yeah, I mean, because it's kind of like the opposite of the moon. Like when you see, like, it's a quarter moon and it's a, you know, and where all of a sudden it's no moon, and that's how it goes across. Now, I didn't know there was going to be eclipse.
No, I mean, until he's told us. No.
Yeah, I looked at Andrew Kozak again from CBS 3 meteorologist. Andrew, his son, Andrew has a thing about on his Facebook page about the eclipse and also about the presentation that his dad is going to do. Harold came and visited us couple months ago, something like that, when he was coming to visit Andrew.
Oh yeah, that was.
And he stopped at Bloomers, and that it's like we never know who our callers are, you know, and that where he is again, and a professor of astronomy. How cool is that?
Yeah, it is cool. Yeah,
I don't know.
And he makes all these talks for NASA too. He's amazing. Yeah.
So and it's like a NASA ambassador.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
If you can get out to Staten Island, it is literally right over the bridge from Perth Amboy, New Jersey. Go to his talk. He'll be a lot of fun. He'll be entertaining. Well, running out. We gotta go. All right, we're going to break. We'll be right back right after this. Hi, this is Len Schroeder from Bloomers in the Garden. Do you have a landscape, garden, or plant question? If so, call or text us using the Bloomers in the Garden hotline. Dial 609-685-1880. That's 609-685-1880. Don't be shy. We want to hear from you. Call or text us and let us know what problems you're facing. Let us know how we're doing. Call or text 609-685-1880. If we use your comment on the air, we'll send you a free Bloomers t-shirt. Call or text us at 609-685-1880. That's 609-685-1880. And we'll see you in the garden. You're listening to Bloomers in the Garden Radio. Listen anytime through your favorite podcast provider or see and hear us by subscribing to Bloomers YouTube channel. Bloomers in the Garden Radio is heard in Philadelphia and throughout the whole Delaware Valley every Saturday. First, wake up with us at 6 a.m. on WNWR The Word at 95.3 FM and 1540 AM. Tune in at 8 a.m. to Bloomers in the Garden Radio on Talk 860 WWDB. A rebroadcast of Bloomers in the Garden Radio is played each Saturday evening at 5 p.m. on The Word, 95.3 FM and 1540 AM. On Sunday at 8 a.m., we can be heard throughout the New York Tri-State Area on Classic Oldies, 1250 AM WMTR. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you in the garden. Well, Julio,
let me tell you.
Thank you, all our callers.
Yeah,
thank you for calling in.
Yes. Awesome.
Again, apologize for getting Joe's. Yeah, but
Joe
now all week I can torture Julio.
Oh, yeah.
That gives me something. I appreciate that. Listen, if you have questions about your garden, landscape, anything, please call the hotline 609-685-1880. We love this time of the year, and we've got the answers.
Yes, we do.
If you end up being on air, you get a t-shirt.
That's right.
You get a t-shirt. Yep. Thank you, Sam.
Thanks,
Great
Sam.
job, Aaron, everybody.
All right.
We'll see you next week right here in the garden.
See you in the garden.